doing it. You're live. Pulled over on the side of the road on the way back from Utah. We're live. Man, we are going to talk about some serious business tonight, y'all. Holy guacamole. And we're going to get right into it. Oh, there's my back scratch. All right, here we go. All right, wait for some people to get on the live chat here. Man, oh man, oh man. Can you guys hear us? This is the first time we're going to be using our laptop.
Can you move it on the thing a little closer?
That's plenty good. Don't be shy. You can get a little closer. Boom. Everybody make sure you hit that thumbs up when you come in. Please, please, please. We got a lot of people unsubscribing from our channel because Doug keeps dropping Trump truth bombs and nobody likes it. They're buying 100% into the Trump program, which he is a paid op. Okay, he is in this for a reason. He has been selected, not elected, and I know people don't like it. He was the salesman for the vax. I posted the video. Yeah, I got the vax, and I got the boosters, right? And we all know that Congress was exempt. The UPS guys, the Postal Service was exempt, and a host of other people. Congress's staff was exempt. The only people that had to get it were you working slugs, okay? You let them eat cake, people. Right? I mean, I'm just out here trying to tell you the truth. Like it, don't like it, whatever you want to say. All right. The Q dropped days more than you know. Yeah, the Q is a total psyops as well. Okay. Nothing going on with the Q. They say they're locking everybody up down there at the what you call it? The prison down there at the camp. What was it? That's some nonsense, man. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay. All right. So Stacy and I are going to talk tonight a little bit about leaving the matrix. I'm going to tell you guys what they say the definition of the matrix is. What is the matrix? Are just coming on. I don't care, man. We like to get right into it. We got to get right into it.
I have to set up my
Stop it now. What is the matrix? Overview. The matrix in the universe is the matrix of a simulated reality, which is what you're living in, believe it or not. And I'm going to have a video for you guys tomorrow I'll upload, and it will totally bust one of the narratives that you've been believing in and that you thought was true. But I'm telling you guys, we are living in a simulated reality created by intelligent machines or people to keep humans pacified while their bodies are being used as an energy source. And there is, some talk about how they're harvesting our energy because, we're all fired up on certain things and they get a lot of this groupthink going so they can harvest that energy. There's lots of stuff about that. It's a world indistinguishable from our own where most humans are unaware they are living in a program, a computer program, which is basically what we are doing and racing towards, I might add, because, they are building, Gitmo. They are building the AI data centers. And you're not going to like those. Everyone's watching them pop up. They're building them at breakneck speed. When they locked you up for the COVID lie, that's what they were doing too. They were putting in 5G towers. Non-stop 5G towers. Those 5G towers are what made you sick. They've been out here long enough now where most people's bodies have acclimated. Then the bio jab got into them, and then that really wrecked them big time. A lot of people are passing away, myocarditis, a lot of heart attacks, strokes, a lot of blood clots. You guys probably know people. I've gotten lots of comments and everything about people that they know that have been affected by that thing, and that was on purpose. And you can bet your bottom dollar that Trump never got it. That's a fact. And then I got another video too about one of the other guys, another creepy model guy that Trump hung out with. And, I'm just going to keep trying to wake people up, right? Depopulation is the plan for sure. I talked about Henry Kissinger and I went over some of his notes. I found that actual paper that he wrote and I've been reading. It's like 100 pages long. But all it talks about in there is how people shouldn't have babies except them. And how they're going to strategize to do it. And they took our tax dollars and spent $750 million just on one project. And it's just on and on and on and on and on and on and on while we toil and work and, get into this stuff and try to just live our best life and raise our kids. They're literally out there every single day, multi-generational, planning and conniving and scheming. Pelosi, her nephew is Gavin Newsom in California. The Bushes, we got two of them, right? The Bushes are clearly, openly, Father Bush is always talking about the New World Order. Lots of video about that. I've done videos about that. Bush Jr., his job was to destabilize the Middle East. That's why we got the weapons of mass destruction lie. That's also where they did gain of function for transhumanism, because dudes were losing their legs and their arms to the IEDs, and they were putting them back together with robot parts. Man, you guys, I don't know. Once you see this stuff, you can't unsee it. It's just wild like that. So tonight we're just going to talk about how to get out of this stuff, and, you know, break free and just live your best life. You know, we are in the present. So you have to know that you can't change the past. You don't know what's going on in the future, but you have to live the fresh in the present. But he knew not, did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten and fused. I don't know what that is. All right. If you don't even know that 116,000 acres of western Colorado, right? We pulled into Colorado yesterday, and it was the smokiest it's been on our whole trip. We went to Utah, that Monroe Valley, and that place was supposed to be on fire, big fire, all this stuff. The guy kept saying it was okay, and it literally was. We barely had any smoke. I think one night we woke up and smelled the smoke.
It was right there.
It was right there on the hill. We actually watched it like it would creep,
burning,
and then it would hit a tree, and you could see it flare up. Those guys were dropping fire retardant. That's another kind of suspect thing, right? They douse the land with that fire retardant, and that stuff's highly chemical based. And then, of course, it chases the animals out of the valley there. But then when we pulled into Colorado yesterday, this was the worst smoke we'd seen on our whole trip. And the place is ablaze. Today, it's not too bad. We were able to enjoy ourselves a little bit. We'll be back on the road tomorrow, and then we'll be home. So if you guys ordered something from the Missouri Tea Company, we'll have that out to you guys ASAP. And if you want to get a copper cup or some medicinal tea or something like that, then I will drop a link for you guys, and we'll get that shipped to you guys. We have stuff that helps with your lungs, you know, like if you're in this area where the you know, fires are, right? We've been drinking some tea, mullein tea, to help with our lungs. And then we've also have a few more things.
Yeah, Teresa says, why are we having ads during the live show? That was weird. It just happened.
We're having ads during the live show?
How do they do that?
I have no idea. YouTube has been just doing their own thing lately. I really couldn't tell you. Oh, man, y'all. We just had ads pop up. Is YouTube messing around? I don't know. Maybe sometimes too. Like the last video we put up had a lot of ads in it. It was kind of meant to break your attention span. So don't fall for it. I'm going to sit down here. Still be as tall as Stacy pretty much. And then you guys can see her a little better. She looks better than me. All right. There we get that thing out of the way there. There we go. All right. Mullein tea. Yes, it's wild grown and hand picked. Mullein tea. You can get some right here, and it's very good for your lungs. We have detox teas and a lot of other stuff, copper cups that you can drink out of that help you with your body functions, especially if you drink a cup of water first thing in the morning. It helps you with your digestion and tract to help you guys go poo, 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 poo. And also, if you have bad water, it can help make it better, and on and on and on. We can't open the windows. The windows will flood the camera, and then you won't be able to see us at all. All right. No ads other than Doug's Amazon. I don't have any Amazon, so I don't know what that is. Doug doesn't do Amazon. I won't contribute to Bezos, so I don't know what that talk is about. But Stacy and I do have the Missouri Tea Company.
Maybe he's meaning just our stuff.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. All right. California governor just passed laws that no one could go hiking. That wasn't California. That was Canada. I'm pretty sure that was Canada. If they passed laws like that in California, I haven't heard nothing about it. But I did hear that they did that in Canada. All right. And I wouldn't comply to any of that stuff. I'm just telling you guys, man. They're not going to keep me all like locked up in my house. These are called raw optics. They are because we are on the computer, have some LED lights in here, and they help you with your eyes because the LED lights and the computer screens put out too much blue light, and it messes up your circadian rhythm, and that makes you sick, y'all. Your sleep time is your repair time. All right, $28,000 fine if you're caught in the woods in Canada. What a joke, y'all. I'm trying to tell you guys talk about homesteading.
Well, we can talk about homesteading too.
They're going to be outlawing homesteading and growing food and being in the wilderness. All these places are just testing right now. When Canada puts that stuff out, they're just testing how people react. Do they get a lot of pushback? Just like Trump, he announced that he was going to cut funding for anybody who boycotts Israel.
Well, here.
And what happened? Everybody spoke up about it. The internet lost its mind, and then they actually reversed that. So we do have a little bit of power still. Don't think we don't. But the plan does march on the daily.
Well, the title of our show tonight is about escaping the matrix.
That's
So
right.
that's what we're going to talk about for people.
That's right.
That you're going to need to learn some of these skills about homesteading or living self-sufficiently, and kind of being a little bit more rebel, as you could say, because it may come to that. You know what I mean?
Lynn, they won't outlaw the air we breathe, but they will contaminate the hell out of it, right? So you guys, you got to take care of yourself now better than you ever have before. That is no joke. If you're just going through this stuff willy-nilly, you're going to be in a lot of troubles. You're going to be sickly. Big Pharma's going to wrap you up in their pills, and they are the number 1, 2, and 3 cause of death in America. Okay? I was told by Lowe's that everything like light bulbs was going to LED. Yes, it's true. You can't buy regular incandescent bulbs hardly anywhere. You might be able to find some here and there, but basically any store you go to is going to be LED.
It's probably the only incandescence before the LED that was left over on the shelf from before, because it's been a couple years, isn't it?
Yes.
Where you can't buy them. Now you can buy incandescent light bulbs online. You can still find them there. And then probably some other like little, mom and pop hardware stores may still have them too. You never know.
So that's another thing. Why would they do that? Why would they take away your choice and force LED lights on you? Because it's just like Doug said, they're bombarding you with the blue lights and they're making you sick. Okay.
And there's a lot of people that were at the meetup.
Yeah, the meetup was awesome,
yeah,
y'all. We shared the picture with you guys there. Everyone was so nice. We had a great time, had some great conversations. Maybe some of you are here. The video I dropped tomorrow will confirm some of the stuff that I was telling you guys. And man, it was really good. We had like almost probably 60 people, wasn't it?
No, it was more than that.
More than 60 people.
Yeah, it was like almost 70.
Wow, we got pizza for everybody. Stacy made a big salad for everybody. And it was very, very nice, y'all. A lot of great conversations, totally free event. Whenever you guys see us and we are having these meetups, it's totally free. And we feed you guys and we do all the talking and hanging out, and you can ask us questions and all that stuff. All right. I'm sorry you missed it too, Stephen, Stacy. All right. So one of the things you got to do to escape the matrix, I mean, a lot of people can't do everything. Well, you have to make baby tiny steps. The less that you are dependent on the system, the better chance you have in surviving. That's for sure. I'm just telling you. So that way they can't dictate to you a lot of this stuff. Hi, Doug and Stacy. Ferment question. I used a teaspoon of Redmond salt per 1 cup of spring water. How long does it take before the ferment is ready to go?
Generally, for most things, 10 to...
Should have got Stacy's book. Here's the link.
10 to 14 days on most of the ferments. It depends what you're fermenting. Like if it was a honey ferment, that might take a little longer. Sometimes maybe you want it a little bit more tart, you can go more, but it also depends on the temperature in your house. If it's really hot, humid temperatures outside, things will ferment quicker. So you need to check it. So it's always good. And people freak out when you're fermenting. It's their first time. They think they're going to contaminate themselves. Don't worry about it. You can open it up. You can look at it. You could take the puck out or the weight out. You can smell it, see if it's good, get a clean spoon or fork, taste it, see how you like it. And if it tastes great, then go ahead and put the lid on it or take the weight off of it, put a lid on it and put it in the refrigerator. And then you can use it whenever you want to use it. So don't be afraid to look at it, watch it, make sure it doesn't get like sometimes you can get this kind of white film that people think it's mold, but it's called chyme yeast. And it's just a harmless yeast. It just might affect the flavor. That's why you need to get it quickly. And I just wipe it off with a towel or like a paper towel. You just kind of wipe it off and maybe scoop off that top layer. And that's the ferment you want to eat first. Because if you let it go longer, like a couple months or something in the refrigerator, it might make the flavor taste a little different. And it's not bad for you. It just affects the flavor. So don't be afraid. Here's my words of encouragement. It's okay to open it. It's okay if you're making sauerkraut or something and it starts to bubble up and explode. It's okay to take it off, clean it up, wipe everything down, put it back. You're not going to hurt it. Just as long as everything stays underneath the brine, you're good. Okay?
Yeah, don't keep talking about the ads. They're running them. Big deal. What is the first step to escape the matrix? Well, the first step I would say was probably like Stacy and I did, was sell everything that we had except a futon, a coffee table, and some silverware.
Well, let's go a step further. You got to kind of get in that mindset. You know, we get stuck. This is huge. We get stuck in our lives, and we go on and we get stuck with all of our stuff, and you get weighted down, and it gets overwhelming because you're thinking, I have so much stuff that I have to get rid of, or I have so much stuff in my house. I can't do it. So Doug and I, when you kind of flip that switch in your brain and you say, I'm going to do this. This is going to be best for us. We're like, what the heck? I'm healthy. I was kind of sick, but we're alive. We have our clothes on our back. We're going to have a roof over our head. We have food in our belly. And then my big thing with the clothes situation, I try to get all natural fibers, Well,
you sure fast forwarded a lot.
Well, what do you mean?
Because we were just talking about the first steps.
Well, but I'm saying before you go ahead and, you're going to move on, you have to get that mentality about moving, because people are so stuck in their ways. You can't get up and move. You're there and you just have all your stuff and everything is in your home and everything. It weighs you down. And it's so much like if you just were like a total minimalist and you had your bed and a couple pair of clothes and you know what I mean? You could kind of get up and go. But it's one of those things where it's hard. So we sold everything on Craigslist, everything we owned. And I was taking clothes and like dishes and
garage
everything.
Sales.
I took it all to resale shops in the community. We had a place that had a lot of these, the homes for the adults, the handicapped adults that were living independently. And so I took a lot of stuff there. I just got rid of everything. I was giving away stuff to all my friends and neighbors. And I just kept, I needed one spatula, I needed this, I needed so many forks. I just had enough plates for myself, because really to live simply, you don't need a whole bunch of stuff. So that's kind of how we started. And then it really did help. And for us, we actually, when we sold all that, we moved into a 1-bedroom apartment for just a short time. And that kind of helped us to learn how to move tiny. So if people are wanting to sell stuff and then move into maybe their parents' home or grandparents' home temporarily in a small space until you find something and then move on. You know what I mean? I think fear is a powerful thing for a lot of people. They just can't. It's just like, I can't do it. And sometimes, and I always say, it's so cool to be spontaneous sometimes. And then if this is something that you've always wanted to do, you don't want to regret things. And if that's what you want to do it. I can't tell you, when we go to these meetups and we meet all these people, I mean, there's people in their 50s, 60s, 70s that are doing it. They're just doing it. They sold everything and they're doing it and they're happy as can be. They got their animals now. They're raising their chickens. I can't tell you the amount of stories of the people that I talked to at the meetup that these people weren't in their 20s or their 30s that were doing it for the first time. They got some property and they're just doing it.
A lot of older folks are doing it for real. But they were at the conference. We see them all the time at our homesteadingliveconference.com and all the other stuff we do, talking engagements and stuff. But that's what we did. I just made the commitment. I wanted to sell everything and I was just basically going to retire. I was like 40 years old, y'all. And we weren't worried about the future. Stacy had a little 5-day-a-week job. She was working as a teacher, and COVID ruined all that stuff because there's no way she could wear a mask and do her teaching job. So then we were left with just whatever. So we just kept walking in faith and doing our thing, and it just worked out. You know what I mean? But we totally committed to growing our own food, building our own house. I never built anything before. And while I was reading these books, these Time Life books Stacy had, like these cowboys and Western stuff, and also watching some old videos of movies of Western stuff, I thought, man, they built the log cabins. I'm sure I could do it. You know what I mean? I studied some connections, some dovetails, and some other endings and how you join the logs together. And then I just went for it. And we built a nice, modest little 600, 800 square foot, 700 square foot log cabin. No experience. I built it in 90 days. I started in August and we moved in. When did we move in?
October.
In October. Okay. And we've been there ever since. And we've added on to it and we've done more things. We've upgraded it, put in a root cellar and all this stuff. But that's what we did. And we were out there learning and growing food. And actually, I didn't even know the Amish were around the corner. we met the Amish, which was really good for us. And I came home and I said, man, if they can do it, because we were still figuring out, are we going to do electricity? Are we going to try to put in this well, save up our money? And then I was like, man, if the Amish can do it, we can do it. So that's how we started this whole journey as well. And then we ended up on YouTube because our friend was like, man, what you guys are doing is so cool. You should share this with people. And so we started posting pretty regularly videos on YouTube on how to do all this stuff, how to break free, tips and tricks, how to start your homestead, how to grow food, how to build, how to do everything. So you guys, we've archived those videos for you here and at the university.offgridwithdougandstacy.com so you can glean from them and start your adventure as well. But the bottom line is the more you depend on the system, food, medications, schools, the more you're getting caught in the trap and the more you're being programmed every single day, especially for commercialism, disposable mentality, and on it goes.
So Val made a great point. So here's the thing. We always talk about, since the beginning we've been on YouTube, we always say do what you can where you are.
Yep.
Okay. So not everyone is going to get up and move. She's saying, getting up and moving is not feasible for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all walks of life. And that's so true. If you are elderly or if you're in an apartment or it's really about financial things and you just really can't do it, what you really need to do is I always say it is the mindset. You have to switch, where you are the person that's in control of you and you don't want to have to rely on somebody else. So, getting people who live in your apartment, that are kind of in the same mindset of you, like working together, and start learning how to make your own bread and how to ferment and maybe starting a patio garden. Maybe one person's doing some lettuces and some onions and the other person might be growing the peppers and you know what I mean? Or start a little community garden somewhere in your area, somewhere where you can be more self-sufficient, or learning how to grow microgreens where you can do this. If you're a truck driver, you're driving, on the road. If you're in an RV, you can grow microgreens. If you are, if you're just elderly and you live in a house, like our mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, she does the microgreens too. And she can there's a little dirt, you put the seeds in there. And then you grow a very nutrient-rich plant that's about so big and you can cut it and eat it. And just in a handful, you're going to get amount of nutrition probably for a couple days that you would get by getting store-bought lettuce or something from the grocery store that traveled 1,500 miles.
Speaking of her, she lived in Ferguson, Missouri. You guys have all heard of that. She'd lived there for many years and she had her little set ways and everything, but she finally had enough. So we built her a log cabin on the backside of our property and she's been living there for several years now. What has it been? 4?
Yeah,
4 years. And she loves every minute of it. And she's more healthy, eats better. You know what I mean? And the sunlight, y'all, the sunlight is huge. That's why they try to block it out. But the sunlight does a lot for your body. She gets out more now. She's been working out. Y'all, she goes to the doctor and he is like, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. And before she would go and it was pill this and pill that and cut here and slash here. So we know the stuff works for young and the old and then the in-between. You know what I mean? You just have to figure out what degree in which you want to participate. If you just can't break free and you're living in your place, just try to have a little bitty garden or grow the microgreens, barefootmicrogreens.com. You could go check out that website.
Yeah. So this is what I'm going to say. And this is if like I travel or anything, if you're at home and you just want to start eating healthier and know where your food's coming from, you can go to barefootmicrogreens.com. She has a whole kit. So you get the little trays, you get a little dirt, you get the seeds, and then you start doing it and know it's like so simple. You don't hardly have to do anything and they'll grow. It's crazy. But then you do microgreens. And if you learn to ferment is so simple. You're going to get so much nutrition. You're going to get the probiotics that your gut needs to help heal itself and to help put good bacteria in your body. And when you eat a fermented food, it is much more bioavailable and is basically, it kind of digests itself. Sort of like you hear, in sourdough bread, if you let it ferment for a day or 2 days or 3 days, it eats the gluten up. So it's easier for people to tolerate. Same thing when you ferment, vegetables or fruit, it's going to kind of chew it up a little bit and make it easier for you to digest. And then it makes it more powerful, all the nutrition you're getting. So like when we're traveling and maybe you don't have as much food as you normally, would eat or need, I always make sure I have to have a fermented food with my diet, or I'll have a handful of microgreens. I can't tell you how powerful those two things are. So I did write a fermenting book.
Come on now, hold on to your
sorry.
stuff.
And
you shouldn't even have that by you. Why do you have that?
It's on my leather pillow.
Well, why do you have that?
Because I'm looking
by
at the
your
comments.
heart too. You can read them over here. Can't you see them?
No, I can't read from there.
Man, you got to get some glasses.
Well, because I got my red glasses on and the yellow ones I don't have, so it's hard to see right now. So those would be two things that I would definitely look at if you're wanting to start to be a little more self-sufficient. Because I'm saying, what if something happens and you can't go to the grocery store or this or that? If you maybe start doing some fermenting now, a lot of stuff's at the farmers markets right now. You can get a lot of fresh produce. If you're growing it, you can do produce. You can get some of this fermented foods and start storing it. You can keep it in cold storage in the back of your refrigerator or down in a root cellar or someplace cool. And then that way you'll have some, good foods.
Look,
as well as talking about prepping.
Another good book is The Square Foot Gardener. You can learn how to grow a lot of food in a little space. And if you go off grid, you're not making yourself an easy target. You're making yourself a harder target. Okay. The easy targets are the population centers. All right. Because they can lock down just like they did during COVID. We didn't have any problems moving around. Country folks weren't buying into that stuff as much, but the cities were, and they were locked down. Stores were acting goofy. Everything was goofy. And a lot of people are asking comments about doctors, y'all. I mean, I cannot.
Well, here, let's talk about that real quick.
I'm just going to tell you, okay? It's death care. All right? Death care. Don't listen to these people. I'm not doctors. We don't play one on YouTube. We don't have a primary care. We don't go see doctors. We do things for ourselves. And you guys got to learn that stuff, right? They used to have one doctor for the whole town, and he was the veterinarian. Now they have a whole town of doctors for one person, and they couldn't tell you nothing about animal care. So you guys have to think about this stuff. This whole pharmacia was brought up and nurtured by the Rockefellers. That's why you don't have grandma's remedies anymore. And that's why Stacy and I use them, and we try to share them with you. Stacy has a whole remedy book. Here's the link for that. And it's the truth, because I mean, all this stuff is here for you. It's by design here for you. And what they do is they go out and they rip it off, they synthesize it, and then they sell it to you in pills. Okay. So you just got to learn how to take care of yourself for real. The most capable hand is at the end of your wrist. You were saying?
See, yeah, I forgot now.
Something about off grid, you said.
Huh?
We haven't taken pharmaceuticals
in here's it.
16 years, 20 years.
No, we never.
Long time.
I've never had nothing in the household. Like it's been 25, 30 years. It's been a long time. So here's what I was going to say. So last week, we said we were going to talk about kind of alternative type healthcare.
Well, you're going to do that next week.
But we're not home right now, and we need to be home.
Next week, we're going to talk about a way you can get alternative healthcare from people who actually care, and we'll drop all that, guys, on you next Monday night in the live show. Yes. Okay. As soon as we get home, we'll have it all lined out for you. We have some great options for you guys.
Maximum Minimalist says lion's mane helps clear up foggy memory. Sure. Yes, lion's mane is excellent.
So does sun and getting outside in some fresh air. That's why they poison the air too. The next step you guys would want to do if you're going to leave everything behind and try to find a spot is you need to find, I got a booklet about this too, right? I wrote a little booklet that fits in your back pocket, but you need to find a place with no restrictions. Okay. You can't go rolling into a homeowners association or some county or whatever state where they're always, bugging you and up your butt about building codes. And when the guy comes around with his glasses and clipboard and tries to fine you and tells you to take stuff down. So what you got to do is find a place where you have no restrictions. Okay. So you can build and do what you want to do on your own land. I can't tell you, just the years we've been posting YouTube videos, I've seen people build stuff and the guy comes around and tells them they have to tear it all down or move it. So that's a huge trap.
Yeah, if you're going to move, you got to definitely make sure you find out about any codes or anything's going on before you move there, or know what the codes, what you're in for.
The insurance company sent me a letter offering me a $20 gift card if I get a mammogram.
Wow.
Those are that's a sure sign. So there.
Here's the thing. You should not be getting mammograms.
No.
You're just basically, putting your breast in the microwave. Look into thermography.
And they squish it.
Look, you can Google, find someone in your area that does thermography. It's a much more natural. It just shows, it kind of lights up areas in the body that have issues going on, and then they can work with you that way. I would not, I would not get one.
Colonoscopies, I mean.
So, but thermography, just look into thermography. Everybody who's wanting to do all this stuff, look into thermography. It can find out a lot of stuff. Because a lot of people, when people are worried about cancer and things like that, it takes a while for cancer to start to grow. So if you look into thermography. Is there such thing as
cancer?
Just look into thermography.
Is there such thing as cancer? Thermography. First time watching a live. I can't believe how many commercials there are in here.
Still?
Boy,
yeah,
you guys just can't get over talking about those commercials.
They're doing it on purpose.
I don't know what's up. They're trying to break your attention
span. Are. It's kind of weird. How do they do the commercials on a live show?
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know nothing about it. Just, hit the skip button or let them watch. If you watch them for like 20 seconds, we get credit for it. If you don't, that's fine too. Ultrasound. What do you say about ultrasound? Okay, this is just me. If I was pregnant now, I would definitely find get one.
Birthing center. Yeah, I personally wouldn't get one. And I would find like a birthing center or midwife and work through them.
I'm going to tell you guys what I found about ultrasounds. You ready? Because my son is having a baby right now, and I just want them to have all the information. And I'm not telling you guys what to do, and I don't tell you what to do. Do your
research on all this stuff.
That's what I told them. I said, here's the information. You do what you got to do about it. But hold on, let me find it. Oh, my gosh, where's it at?
Oh, yes, Peter's talking to iridology. Yes, Peter, I love iridology, and actually, I want so bad to go and take the classes and become an iridologist.
A single exposure to ultrasound causes DNA damage similar to 250 chest X-rays. Oh, you guys can't see that, huh? That's what it says. 250 chest X-rays, y'all. Everything Big Pharma does is made to depopulate and to take you out. I mean, I don't know I know it's a hard thing to hear, but it's actually the truth. And the truth can only do one thing. And these are our, own truths that we have hunted down and found for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we don't just make this stuff up. We do the research, we dig it out, we find it, and then we share it with you guys. Okay? 250 chest X-rays, just so you can know the sex of your child.
But just always, you guys, we're just talking about stuff, do research on it, because a lot of times when you go, to the doctor, they're always, if you would go to a surgeon, he's a surgeon. He's not going to say, well, I don't think you should do this. He's going to want to do surgery.
That's how he makes his money and buys his lake house.
It's always good. Like they say, get 2 or 3, opinions on something. Maybe go and check another avenue. You know what I mean? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If one person tells you that you need this done, and then it's like, I don't know, I'm going to go to this other person, you might get 3 different opinions. So that's really powerful. And
don't let them scare you.
Don't listen just because someone tells you need to do something. And I think your intuition and how you feel is so, so powerful. If it doesn't feel right to you, listen to yourself. Women have really good intuition. Not as good as men, but women do. So listen to your gut. I mean,
I have good discernment.
I know, but women have good intuition about stuff.
Yeah.
So just do more research. If you're feeling unsettled or you're hearing a lot of stuff, just keep looking into it.
And if you want sugar and make things sweet, if you're cooking, don't use white, bleached, nasty sugar. Try some honey or some maple syrup. I mean, I don't even think we use regular sugar anymore. Except for your concoction.
My hummingbird.
Yeah.
I use it for hummingbirds. And then I'll do sugar from kombucha.
Yeah.
Because kombucha needs sugar because it's processed more and it's easy to eat up. So I do.
Jennifer, if you love the truth, it's Doug and Stacy, not Tracy. Now next week we're going to talk about all this medical stuff, y'all. So lay off those medical questions, get onto some escape the matrix questions so we can help you out. That's the title tonight. Stay focused, and then next week we're going to talk about all this medical stuff. and we're going to rock your world. Okay. Dates are a great sweetener, and they're good for you.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you guys. Okay, here, let's all do it. One of my favorite things to have is just a snack all the time are the medjool dates. They are a powerhouse of nutrients and just minerals that our bodies are lacking. And every single human in the whole world needs minerals. And minerals are what are in charge of keeping your body healthy, your hair, your skin, your nails, your energy, your brain, all this stuff is so powerful. So and if you want a sweet treat, eat one of those. They're kind of cool because they do have sugar in them. They're very, very sweet, but they're not going to really spike your glycemic index like a lot of the other dried fruits and other things. And they're loaded in fiber. So they'll help with digestion. They're going to help with your energy. They help with your libido. They help with.
I don't need help.
They are just amazing. They're just a powerhouse of good stuff. And I'm looking at the comments on that. And I try to eat a few of them a day. You can have 2. Sometimes he'll do 3, or he's bigger. I'll do a couple of them a day. And I just love them. And it's when I want a sweet treat and you're trying to get off sweet desserts and stuff, dates are amazing. They're really, really good. And for me, especially when I was going through menopause, sugar was your enemy. I mean, your sugar will immediately make you have a hot flash within an hour if you eat it. So if I wanted something sweet, what helped me is I would just do dates or figs or dates, and it really worked out good.
The Mandela effect is fully legit, right? The Mandela effect refers to a phenomenon where large groups of people share the same false memory about an event or fact. It's named after the false memory many people have that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s, when he actually was released in 1990 and died in 2013. Essentially, it's a collective misremembering of something that is demonstrably false. That is for real, and they know how to unleash that on you, okay? They know how to make the group think that something happened when it didn't, right? Like Trump being a great guy. That is a huge Mandela effect, man. And there's a lot of people, even on this channel, that have just fallen for this nonsense about Trump, y'all. Just wild. And they say he's done so much and everything since he got in. He hasn't done anything. Your gas prices are still high. Your food prices are still high. They just raised all your taxes. OPEC and them are producing more oil than ever, and your gas prices are still high. All he's done is create AI data centers. He's secured rare earth minerals, sent Israel $60 million because the Zionists are bombing Gaza and creating a genocide over there. Fact. $60 million of our tax dollars to feed Gaza. I mean, come on, y'all. Seriously.
So uranium cakes, are you saying China has a date farm? Yeah, one thing I will say, when you look at a lot of this dried fruit, like apricots, dates, figs, they're really good. That's where they're known from Turkey, Armenia, from the Middle East. All those places are really good places to get it. So check and make sure you're getting them sourced correctly.
And one way they create the Mandela effect are these fake headlines, because they put out a fake headline like they're going to release the Epstein thing. And then it never happens, right? But a lot of people believe it in their mind that they were going to release it, or that they're going to release it. So later down in history, even just like COVID was a big Mandela effect. People still think that some virus came out and, President Trump was trying to save us from lockdowns and stuff. That's the Mandela effect, because all that's nonsense. All nonsense. While you were locked up and being put in your 6 feet apart stuff, they were out putting up 5G towers, which made your body ill. Please listen. The 5G towers is a weaponized frequency. You can look this stuff up for yourself, and it made your body ill. Then you went in and got the bio shot, right, which then attacked your immune system and your DNA and caused you to become super duper sick. And you can go look all this stuff up. And now people have myocarditis. They're getting myocarditis. They're getting the blood clots. They're passing away left and right. And this is all part of the population control plan. And Trump said he even got his booster. Seriously, you think Trump put that stuff in his body? Come on, y'all. His buddy is Jeffrey Epstein. I did a video about Casablanca. I got another video coming up about another model dude he hung out with, how him and Melania met. It's just disgusting. It is manufactured. And they want 6 and 7G. Think about that, 6 and 7G. They're putting these towers on top of your water in your towns and municipalities. They're flooding your water with pharmaceuticals. The birth control pills are messing with everyone's estrogen levels. All this stuff is flowing right out of your faucet. That's why, you know, the dude, manly man, you know, he's hard to find these days. They're all like sissified.
Mary's asking, what kind of sugar do I use for the hummingbirds? I just use regular cane sugar. I have like a big bucket full of sugar. I get a big bag because I have so many hummingbirds. So I just use regular white cane sugar. Now, if you guys don't know, I say it all the time. If you're going to get white sugar, okay, let's say that's all you can have and you can't switch or anything. You're going to do white sugar. Try to get organic cane sugar. That would be great. Don't get the white sugar that just says sugar because that's genetically modified beet sugar. It needs to say cane sugar, C-A-N-E. Just make sure you're getting cane sugar. Lavelle
Function Nutrition says, if I hold my cell phone in my hands, it starts to tingle and burn.
Oh, yeah, always.
I use a plastic cell phone holder and protect my hand. And y'all, colon cancer is up 500% in the youth, okay?
They put their phones in the back
Keep
pocket.
the phone off your body. That's why I don't want her having this stuff around my head, and she's dropping it on me and flicked it over there. I got rid of my phone as soon as I gave you guys the information. Please don't have that stuff on your body. If you guys ever checked out Sabrina Wallace, she's like the Sarah Connors of the day, and she's trying to warn you guys what they're doing out there with the sprays and the frequencies, and it's all legit. And I know it's hard to get your head wrapped around it, but it is all legit.
Yeah, here's the other one is Pam says herbs, spices, and plants are your medicine and your food. So that's the thing, you know, we're talking about escaping the matrix. This is the time to become educated, getting lots of books on wild foraging, on herbs, plants, you know, and let's say you're not going to grow anything. Let's say you can't grow it. You don't want to grow it, you know possibly where you can get some organic herbs in bags that you can maybe make tinctures with, because making tinctures is simple. You go to these stores, health food stores and places, and you get a tincture, like in a little tincture bottle. It may cost anywhere from $10 to $18, maybe $20, where you can make a quart of it for pennies.
You can even make tinctures out of some of the teas we have, and they're very good for you.
Yeah, like you can make mullein tincture. We like the teas. Yeah, a lot of the teas we have, you could, the dandelion and all that, you could. So just, you know, when you're looking into things, just start educating, getting some herb books about herbs, about how, you know, like you go foraging just for little things in your yard, things that you can get and use to help with stings and bites, or just help with, you know, different ailments that you have. Getting lots of books. We did a show about books.
Yeah, The Invisible Rainbow is a good book. Dirty Electricity is a good book. And we're live every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Set your alarms, mark it on your calendars. Don't count on YouTube to tell you. That's another thing of getting off the matrix. Why do you got to wait for the thing to ding on your phone? Just check in regularly for new videos, and every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, check us out.
And then Teresa's wanting to know what dates. They're called MedJool, MEDJOOL, MedJool dates, and they're from, because there's other kind of dates that are kind of littler and they're like harder. I can't stand them. I like the MedJool dates. A lot of times you could even find them fresh in a container in the produce section. But a lot of times they'll have them in containers. They're usually in the produce section at the grocery store. And you want them generally somewhere in the Middle East.
And Sheila, she ditched her Fitbit and bought a $10.95 at Walmart. So does Stacy. And you should ditch your Fitbits. I cannot believe the amount of old folks walking around with these Fitbits, which is putting electricity, EMFs, right into your hand here, which is very bad for your health, wearing it 24/7, basically. And they're putting these ear things in there too, okay? I see these dudes are getting ear cancer. We were talking to one guy who had some ear cancer, and I was like, well, how do you use your cell phone? And he did just like this. And you could see his whole face drop when he realized.
And, you know, they go to the dermatologist, they'll take it all off. And we're like really look, because we've had like 4 or 5 people just in the past few months that, mostly they're guys too. And they have like the ear cancer, and you can go and see people that have had stuff done. And you're like, that's where everyone holds their phone. So one thing, please don't hold your phone in your hand. Don't put it to your head. And then when you have fillings in your teeth, or your teeth, they're like receptors. It makes it worse.
Your teeth are receptors for your energy process.
Don't put it on your face and your body. Oh,
we watched a natural doctor who was talking about how he had this flu thing going on. Okay. And he couldn't shake it. So when he went to the dentist, because he was having some problems with his teeth, his dentist asked him straight up, what side do you put your phone on? And he did just like that too. And he said, that's what's going on. That's messing with your receptors there in your teeth, and that's keeping you sick. And he quit doing that. And all of a sudden his little flu-like symptoms went away. It's very wild. Don't get a flu shot, y'all. There's no such thing as a good vaccine. Period. All the stuff you've been told is lies. Tetanus is a lie. Okay. Rabies is another lie. Go ask your vet next time you're around your vet and ask him how many cases of rabies are around here. And they're going to say about 0. Okay. It's just wild out here, y'all. And people are just lapping up these lies left and right. And truth be told, Stacy and I were in, just like y'all, programmed from birth, consumerism, school, all the lies shoved in your head, World War II, the whole 9. And then we broke free, stopped drinking that fluoridated water that was killing our pineal gland, started thinking for ourselves, reading books, getting hip on topics that really, we care about and that it can make us healthy. And everything has changed. Everything. And we're trying to share that with you guys.
And here's Teresa saying she quit sugar and grains and lost a lot of inflammation and pain. Husband's arthritis pain is gone in his hands. Clean eating real food is the key. It is so true, you guys. You can do so much just by changing your diet, because inflammation is truly caused by the majority of things that we're eating and putting in our body, especially like seed oils, like canola oil, soybean oil, any of these seed oils that they have in all the salad dressings and processed foods and a lot of these frozen meals and things. You got to really be into reading your labels and knowing what you're putting in your body, because the big thing is not feeling like, most people don't have energy. You've got to look at what you're putting in your body. And people are like, I can't afford to eat good. That's not true. Can you afford to keep going to the doctor because you have this ache and this pain? You need to put that money, if it's a little bit more, like just a couple dollars more. Like we were in Colorado. There's a place called Palisades. Okay. And it's a microclimate, and they grow beautiful peaches and cherries. So we stopped there, and you can buy peaches by the case or however. So what would you rather have? You have one peach, maybe that's $9 or $10 more for a big bushel of them. And then you have the organic one that has not been touched. It's good. I'll pay the extra $10 and get that, because I know that's going to help me be more healthy, as opposed to the other one. You got to kind of think, because if you start eating a lot more of the, conventional type that's full of the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and all that kind of stuff, over time, that may cause you problems where you're going to maybe have to go to the doctor. Who knows? So that's why, changing and buying organic food where you can, like there is a kind of watchdog group. And if you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend you start looking at some of their stuff. And this can help you, called EWG.org. It's called environmentalworkinggroup.org, or EWG. And what it is they will go through like the dirty dozen, like fruits and vegetables that are like the worst in the pesticides, from number 1 all the way up to, 12, the top 12 that are the worst, like spinach and strawberries. Peaches, they're like the top 3, that they're way up there, 3 and 4.
Strawberries.
So strawberries and all that. Kale moved up this time. And then you have the clean 15. So if you need to buy more conventional produce that and not be organic, the clean 15 are going to be the 15 that are, better than some of the other ones. It'll go through your water, like different types of water things that you want to have, and what it's going to pull out, all the different fluoride and chlorine and pesticides and heavy metals and stuff like that. It goes to skincare products, things that you wash with your hair and your skin, your face. They go into all this, and it's an incredible website, and it's free. And it's called ewg.org. And so I highly recommend you guys going there and checking out all the articles, because they have a ton of stuff and some really good, like regular articles.
Y'all, we have spent hours and days and weeks and months researching all this information. That's how we know this stuff. You guys got to get some skin in the game. Can I ferment red onions with honey?
Oh, yeah, that would be good. That would be excellent, actually.
How do I clear up a UTI naturally?
Well,
here's what Stacy did.
No, so basically, you can do homeopathy. Okay, that would be one thing I would do with the cell salts. And you can check out, you can look and research cell salts.
We got them on our site here. Just go there and look up Tom Cowan.
Dr. Tom Cowan.
Click on that link I just put on there. Scroll down, you'll see Tom Cowan. Click on that. You'll get a discount. Get some cell salts.
You can even do a 12-in-1.
Yep.
There's a 12-in-1 one. But making sure, of course, that you're drinking plenty of fluids. You need to kind of flush that out. And you guys know, of course, everyone talks about cranberry. You can do cranberry juice by drinking that, as well as D-mannose. It's a powder. You can put that in some water and drink that. D-mannose.
Hey, did you guys know the New York Times?
Well, wait, I'm not done.
Go ahead.
And then you could also do, if you have some garlic honey, garlic could be very helpful. So, or garlic capsules. Look into doing some garlic as well. But just drinking and drinking lots of fluids.
Water.
Garlic, the D-mannose. I would do some cell salts. Just nip it in the bud. And then here's the last thing. I would douse myself with vitamin C. And I'll tell you, we talk about Dr. Tom Cowan. He's on our site. He has the most incredible liposomal vitamin C. It's probably one of the best out of anybody that you're going to know about. And you have to keep it in the refrigerator, and it's a pump, and you're going to squirt it like in some water or juice, and you're going to drink it. And I would probably be doing that a few times a day too. And that should really kick it, I would think. So.
Did you know that the New York Times archives their articles all the way back to the late 1800s, early 1900s? What was that?
I didn't mean to do that. Tomorrow,
I'm going to drop a video on you guys, proof positive that you're suffering from the Mandela effect, and you don't even know it. And tomorrow, that video is going to be lit. So make sure you check in tomorrow. I'll probably have it up around 10 o'clock, and you guys will see this thing, and you'll be like, holy smokes. Or some of you are just be, Doug, you're so full of it. Trump's great, Doug. And that's okay. I could take it. I'm a big boy.
Thank you, uranium cakes. So I wonder why they call it China Ranch State Farm. It's in Nevada. That's kind of an oxymoron, huh?
If you guys do have a question, just put it in all caps. Okay? And we'll be able to see those really good. Even your eyesight, y'all. You can fix your eyesight. You don't need to wear glasses. The glasses actually make your eyes weaker. That's why you go bigger, bigger, bigger as you age.
And it depends on what's going on with the eyes. There's certain things that's not going to work.
You can use pearl powder and reverse glaucoma. I mean, there's people that are saying, man, this stuff is for real.
And for a lot of people, for the majority of people, everyone just thinks, oh, I'm getting older, I need glasses. I'm getting older, my eyes getting worse. And your eyes do feel like they're getting worse. A lot of it has to do with nutrition.
And your computer time.
Yes, if you're on a computer looking at a screen all the time, your body.
What's the exercise?
Your eyes, hold on. Your eyes are not able to see out.
Yeah.
Like out in the horizon, out and looking at.
That's why all the geeks have glasses, because they're all the time on their computer. What's the name of the exercises?
Just wait a second. I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. So
we're running out of time.
We're running out of time. So just know that you can strengthen your eyes. They're little tiny muscles, and you can strengthen them by doing eye exercises. A lot of times you go to the doctor, they give you glasses. So basically every year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you have to get a stronger glass because your eyes are getting weaker, because it's sort of like a crutch. You're not strengthening it anymore. It'd be kind of like you're putting a cast on your hand all the time. What's going to happen when you take your cast off? you hardly can move it and it's going to be really weak. That's the same thing that happens to a lot of those muscles. And it depends on what's going on in the eyes. You know, there are some eye issues, of course.
The Bates method. Good on you, Mary.
So yes, it's Bates method. There's a book about it. There's lots of stuff on YouTube about the Bates methods. There's exercises you can do to help strengthen your eyes. There's also pinhole glasses that you can get, have little holes that you can look through, and you kind of just really stare at them for a while. There's lots of exercises where you're bringing it in and out, up and down. You know, you're doing different exercises, swinging. And if you start doing these things, a lot of people are just lazy and don't do it. You can do it if you want to, or you can wear glasses. But you can fix it. Like I tell the story a lot that my mother worked for an ophthalmologist for like 25 years. So I was under the impression she would get cool glasses all the time, you know, and my dad, everyone in our family had glasses. And then, of course, I started going to the ophthalmologist at a younger age, you know, and I was like, you know, I knew I was going to have to get glasses probably when I got out of college, you know. And so that's kind of what happened. And I would get glasses and I just couldn't stand wearing them. And then I started learning more and more about my eyes and learning about my nutrition. And then I'd also notice how come some days my eyesight is better than other days. You know, then if that's the case, my eyes aren't getting weaker. So then I kind of thought, you know, maybe it's what I was eating. So if I would eat something high in sugar and make my blood sugar spike, my eyesight would be worse. And then if I'd ate good, you know, I'd have nice greens and a salad with my salad and some good meat or some eggs, my eyesight would be spot on. And then I would also started figuring out, you know, if I'm looking at the screen for a long time, my eyes are getting blurry. So if you're on the screen, things you can do is like turn away, blink your eyes a bunch of times, go outside, look out in the distance. This is so powerful because if you're looking at the screen all the time, you're going to have bad eyes. Yeah. Wear the blue blocker glasses, you know, on the screen. All these things are going to make a huge difference, but it's all these little things you just kind of have to start.
Your diet is very important.
Little at a time. Yes.
Joseph, I did a whole thing on nuclear bombs and the guy who actually swam in the pools in the nuclear facilities. Amazing story. Okay. He was in charge of all of North America nuclear facilities. He would keep a glass of that water on his desk and drink it. And he has a lot to talk about. Go hunt that video down. All right. It's good stuff, y'all. What can you do for cellulitis? We're going to talk about a lot of medical stuff next week. Tonight, we're just hanging out talking about how to break free from the matrix. But you got a tip for them since they keep asking?
You know, I'm just, for a lot of this stuff, you know, one little thing, I can't just say, hey, let's take this herb or do this or do that. Honestly, for a lot of ailments for people, if you can get your diet intact, eating, you know, trying to eat organic foods, cutting out sugar, like lots of desserts and sweets, high carbohydrate foods, you know, don't start your day off with very high carbohydrate meal, you know, something that's higher in protein and a little fat would be great. Maybe a little fermented food, starting your day off strong, drinking clean water. We talk about structured water. You can go to tmhw.net and you can find structure units there to structure your water so that your cells are able to absorb the water and not just go right through you, because we need water in our bodies. We need morning sunlight. We need afternoon sunlight. We need evening sunlight. Getting out in the morning first when the sun is coming up. This is going to activate all these things in our body to kind of help our body get healthy. And just start doing these things, you know, working on breathing, you know, even like when you're outside stretching and moving, getting a little movement in there. I really love getting, and then here's a big one, is getting lymphatic movement in your body. So your lymphatic system is sort of like the garbage man of your whole entire body. And it's the way that it gets toxins out. So what would happen to a lot of people getting a lot of issues if you're not able to flush the toilet and it just gets stopped up and stopped up and stopped up and stopped up and stopped up. And eventually the lymph nodes, which you have here, where there's a ton here in the neck, under the arms, in your belly, in your groin, and behind the knees, you need to get movement. So movement is just so important. So you can do a couple things for lymphatic drainage. And I talk about, you can go on YouTube, Dr. Perry Nicholson, Dr. Perry Nicholson. You can look up the lymphatic big six, and there's lots of videos to show you how to do that. I would be doing it every day, maybe a couple times a day if you have things going on. If you're sick, same thing with the UTI. I would do that. Do it a lot too. If you got a cold, there's anything going on. When you have lymphatic fluid, if you sprain an ankle or did something to your wrist, your hand swollen or whatever, that swelling is a lymphatic fluid going down there to kind of heal it, and then it's going to take it away. So you need it to be moving. So that's why you need to do lymphatic movement. I love a rebounder where you're bouncing like on a little kind of mini trampoline. Some people are like, I can't do that. There's handles you can hold on to. You don't have to fly up and down. You can keep your feet flat and you're just going to bounce, and it's very gentle. You can do it while you're watching television. If a lot of you guys did that, you could get your lymphatic system moving. You may notice all these things are happening. You have better bladder control. Your immune system's better. Go and look up. I'm not even going to tell you all the benefits. Look up the benefits of rebounding, and you're going to be flabbergasted. List is like really, really long. Or you can also do dry skin brushing, where you get one of those wooden those brushes with the natural bristles, and then you're just going to brush, starting at your feet. You got to be naked when you're doing it.
Whoa, don't do that.
And you're going to just brush your whole body. And you can find videos on YouTube how to do lymphatic dry skin brushing. You can do it and then go take a shower, and you're going to brush off all that stuff. That'll help with cellulite on your body too. It's going to help with your skin. It's going to help with your circulation. If someone is in a wheelchair that is unable to move around a lot, you can do this. You can sit there before your shower and brush your entire body. It gives you the tingles, and it feels great, and it wakes you up, and it's just wonderful. That's another thing I would be doing.
Going barefoot, grounding.
Yes, going outside. So I talked about going outside in the sun, in the morning, first thing. I say go sit outside, put your feet barefoot on the earth, and just look at the sunrise, or just sit out for a few minutes. Maybe if you are sleeping a little longer, just try to get out before 9 a.m., okay? And look at the sun. Sun is healing for your eyes. It will not make you go blind, okay?
This is the daylight pair. That's the nighttime. You got the nighttime one?
Yeah, I only brought
nighttime ones. These are raw optics, and they help you with the blue light so you can maintain your circadian rhythm, because your body heals at certain times at night. That's why you're a hunter-gatherer during the day, and then at nighttime your body repairs itself through 10 till 2 till 6. Those are very important times. So quit staying up late. Quit watching TV all night. Don't have your phone in your bedroom. Get the TV out of your bedroom. Quit watching TV at least an hour before you go to bed, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So quit watching at about 8:30. And then, get your good night's sleep on. Sleep, sun, and good water will really do a lot for you.
And then when people talk about not being able to sleep, when you have all these lights on, so like what's going to happen now is, it's still daylight here, but at night, we make the beeswax candle at Missouri Tea Company on our site. And what we do, like here in the RV, I have them lit in our house. So what I do is I'll light our lanterns at the house. But like here, I just have 3 beeswax candles. And that's what we do. When the sun goes down, I have the beeswax candles, and that's what we use. So that natural light is very soothing for your body, because it gets you into that rest and relax state where you're able to go to sleep. When you have these blue lights coming down on you, your body still thinks it's daylight and you're up. When you have the blue light from the computer screen and you're staring at it, it's keeping you up. So you need to let your body come back down. So no, try not to have all the lights on in the house. That's going to help you. Don't have your phone or anything by your head. You don't want any electronic stuff by your body when you're sleeping, because this is your repair time. Sleep. And at the get together that we had in Utah for the Redmond mine tour, people were asking about that. And it's like sleep, people, it's so important, because that's when your body will repair itself mentally, physically. The brain cleans itself out. Your everything. You may notice in the morning, if you went to bed after midnight or something, how you're so achy and sore when you got up, because you just cut into 2 hours of your repair time for your body physically. Okay. Same thing with the brain. You need that sleep. Your sleep is so, so, so important. So try to set a time, going to bed pretty much the same time every day, and then getting up, making sure your room is dark. Like here in the RV, there's a few lights here and there. He goes to bed first. I'm covering up every single light with a towel or something, so there's no lights. So it's very important. So all these little things, when you put them together, the good sleep and drinking good structured water, and then you also have to remineralize your water too. It's so important. Once you have your clean water, whether you're using reverse osmosis, and then you structure it, and then you put some minerals in it, like we use the Redmond salt. And you guys always know you can get that Redmond salt through our link off with Doug and Stacy, and go to the Real Salt site, and then you can get some there.
Redmond Real Salt.
Redmond Real Salt. And then that way you'll add the minerals back. And so just be consistent. A lot of people are not consistent. They do something for a couple days or a week, and they're like, it's not working. Well, it took you a long time to get to this stage how you are. You know, you may start noticing through movement. You know, if you're rebounding, if you got a rebounder with the little handle and you're bouncing every day on it. The thing about the rebounder, you can do it naked. You can do it with your jeans on. You can do it with some shoes on. You can do it with barefooted. You can do it with your nightgown on. Who cares? You can just get on and do it.
Look,
if you did it a minute or two a day, you'll notice tremendous difference.
The whole premise behind the rebounder is hunters and gatherers were running. Okay, now we're living a sedentary lifestyle. So if you can't get a rebounder, you could also bounce up and down. She talked about the lymphatic 6 exercises. A lot of slapping, moving your arms, jumping up and down, all that stuff to create movement in your body is how that stuff gets cleaned out.
Here's another one. Here's another great one for you. If you want 60 seconds, you can look up Michael Chang. Put Michael Chang, a 60-minute slapping workout or something like that. And you're just going to slap. And you'll be like, ooh, you'll feel great. Your body likes to move. That we were up moving around all the time. We have been very sedentary, and the sedentary just clogs up your lymphatic system. It clogs up your body. It makes you achy. Movement is very important. It doesn't mean you have to go do 100 push-ups and run 10 miles. It doesn't mean that. It's just moving the body. And you can do some of these things just, in the morning a little bit, if you feel like you need a little energy, a little bit in the afternoon.
Jumping jacks are great.
Well, most people don't like to do jumping jacks.
That's right, but they're still great.
Saying, yeah. So there's so many cool things you can do.
And if you have a smart meter on your home, you can contact your company there, tell them you want it off of your home. A lot of people can do that. They do charge a fee sometimes. And sometimes they just flat out say no, but smart meters are wrecking you. A lot of times your meters are right by your bedroom and they are wrecking you. Get an EMF reader. What's the name of ours? Tri-field. Get yourself a tri-field meter and then go out to your smart meter and you are going to freak out. Go over to your new stove that has smart technology or your new refrigerator and you're going to freak out. Okay. These are called non-native EMFs and like 5G, 6G, 7G. They are wrecking your body. We can actually feel it. I won't probably go back to Florida anymore. We go to Florida down there. And the last couple of times in the Keys and whatnot, man, we have just been bombarded with that stuff. And it just makes us feel like crapola. So this is all true stuff, man. Look it up. These are weaponized systems. 5G, 6G, 7G, AI data centers, Palantir, Feel, Elon's mom was, into child trafficking. His grandfather was into techno tyranny. On and on and on I could go.
So New Old Homestead at DK wants to know, you believe you've escaped the Matrix? They want to know if you believe you've escaped the Matrix.
A lot more than you think you have. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do your best to escape the Matrix, okay?
I mean, everyone's going to
be. And one of it is just being knowledgeable about all the lies you've been fed. So then you can actually see things a little clearer. You know what I mean? And then you can even make better decisions. Because if you think like Big Pharma is in your corner and they actually want to heal you and stuff, well, you're deep in the Matrix. And all you're going to do is shorten your lifespan. No, we're not going to be able to make it to California. We talked about it a lot. And then we decided that we were going to head back to the homestead because we got so messed up by this North Carolina 3 weeks being stranded there. So that really threw our whole thing off. So we're going to go back to the homestead and get some stuff done there and focusing on the homestead. Yes, Bridget Marcone is a man. That's what I'm saying, y'all. We are being ran by a bunch of freaks that are in the club. And Donald Trump even tried to shut somebody up from talking about it. Bridget Marcone is a dude. Big Mike and Obama is a dude. The kids that they have are not even theirs. All this evidence is out there. He never had a birth certificate from here, and they just keep testing and testing on how much we're actually going to take, and they get away with a lot. They really do. But yeah, all that stuff's for real.
Yeah, everyone keeps asking, why are you putting commercials on?
Well, don't worry about the commercials.
We are not putting them on.
Yeah.
We don't. We just noticed it tonight too.
Yeah, Candace Owens is the one who broke that story or talks about it a lot, and they try to shut her up. And she's also talking about the Jews now, right? The Zionists and stuff and everything, pretty much from what I'm hearing, she's saying is all on point. Okay. My video tomorrow will confirm some stuff too. All right. I mean, I'm just telling you guys, like everything, we have to unlearn everything. Einstein is a bogus dude. Einstein. Okay. Everything we've learned is nonsense. All right.
Anne Marie says off the matrix, but on YouTube, how does that work?
Come on, you guys. Seriously. If we weren't doing this YouTube stuff, you wouldn't be getting all this golden information. Okay. So that's why we do this stuff, right? We can, trust me, we could live without the YouTube and putting videos up and all that stuff. But we do it because we're trying to help humanity. And I believe that it's my purpose. God has given me this platform and I'm using it full on. Got that? All right, then. And yeah, I'm a little sassy. And if you guys clap back at me, I clap back. Like I'm not your whipping boy. Okay, you leave comments and all this stuff and you talk all rude and crazy. I'm going to give it right back in your face. So don't get surprised when it happens. All right? You want to have a nice conversation about stuff? I can have nice conversations. Where you start clapping back at me and acting ridiculous, then I do it right back to you, right? Big time. It's no joke. Zero water is a good water filter. Yes. The Berkeys are pretty much dead, y'all. I mean, I don't know what happened.
It's called Bordeaux.
Yeah.
They changed the name. I think it's called Bordeaux. Let me see. Write it on there if you remember. Something like that.
No, I don't hate Jews. I just hate all the lies they've been feeding to everybody. How about that? For generations. Thousands of years. Okay? No problem with them. As a people. It's the Zionists, really. Zionist Christians and Zionist Jews are the downfall of all this stuff. You guys see that thing where Ted Cruz was talking and he's talking out the side of his face and Tucker Carlson, whose dad's in the CIA, I might add. So, he's kind of suspect, but he kind of slaps him around about that stuff. You know what I mean? It's all kind of crazy. We don't owe them nothing. Why are we sending all of our money over there? We don't owe them nothing. And we get nothing in return except they blow up our ships and shoot our men down on the USS Liberty. Okay? They do that stuff. They call us pigs and dogs and scum. You guys should learn this stuff. Quit thinking like they're your buddies. Because they're not. Okay? For real. All of our tax dollars. Go type it into Google on how much tax dollars we send over there. And for what? For what? For nothing. Dying. Her phone's dying. If you know their names, they are owned because the real people pulling the strings, you'll never know their names. But all roads lead to Rome, and then it falls down from there. It's a legit 100. What happened to Berkey? I don't know. They got the FDA rolled in on them, shut them down about their filters, and they just kind of dwindled away from there. So their filters are hard to get. We still have a Berkey, and before I tried to warn you guys, I even did a video about the Berkey filters. I bought a bunch of them. So we're good on our filters, but
I think it's called Bordeaux. Bordeaux. Let me see.
There's a lot of them.
No, that looks just like the Berkey.
Yeah, you guys just got to do your homework. Right. Why are we sending $600 million over there to feed their people while we got homeless vets on the street and all this other stuff going on here? It's just nonsense, y'all. It's just nonsense. Those dudes are just banging up the place over there. They had their stuff all lined up. They were going to roll in on Gaza, and then all of a sudden the headlines disappeared. Genocide right in your face, and the Christians kind of cheer it even. It's so weird. But make sure you watch our video tomorrow. I'm dropping a bomb on you guys, and I have the proof. It's the proof. It's the proof. Because sometimes, you know, I run across stuff and I'm like, wow. And I got to vet it.
And it's called, I just put Boro, B-O-U, what is it? B-O-R-O-U-X. B-O-R-O-U-X.
Epstein. What does that sound like? I mean, y'all, it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. How do you have that many subs? Bear Independent has been capped. I have no idea. Can't tell you. And actually, we're losing subs like crazy, especially when I talk about Trump, their Messiah, because everyone gets all worked up because they think he's here to save them. Trump is not going to save you. RF Kennedy's a joke. They're not going to save you.
That's why when you're talking about this matrix thing where you guys just need to learn how to be able to take care of yourself by, you know, we're talking about learning how to can, learning how to ferment, learning how to make your own microgreens, going ahead and knowing what are you going to do about water situation? Do you have a way that you can filter your water if you need to? Just knowing that if you have a stockpile of some food in your house, what if you're not able to get food for a while, knowing what's going on, knowing that no one's going to come and save you, knowing that you have to kind of
you're all on your own,
you know, in charge of you and your family.
Build a community. That's what we're doing too. We got people moving around us and we're building community. And that's very important too. And yes, 5 Green Acres says the Bible was written by kings and queens. It's their playbook. Listen, King James wrote the most read Bible on planet Earth, and he killed Christians. The Schofield Bible was written and commissioned by the Rothschilds to blend Judaism and Christendom together. Okay? You guys got to look this stuff up. There would be no Israel if it wasn't for the British Crown and the Balfour Agreement with the Rothschilds. This is all for real, y'all. They had 8 other places they had lined up to go to, and they all fell through until the British Crown stepped in and pushed the Palestinians out of the way. And you can go read the stories. The Palestinians accepted them with open arms, even let them live in their houses. And they weren't Palestinians back then, but let them live in their houses. And they came in and then locked the doors and told them, you can't come back here anymore. We own this house now. I mean, you can read these stories, y'all. Some of this history stuff is such a farce.
And then here, what about, okay, let's say something happens. Maybe all the electricity goes out. Maybe there's a cyber attack. Who knows? Like, what if you can't use a toilet? What are you going to do? You know, some of these things are so important. We have an extensive list on a composting toilet. You guys, you know, by using a bucket and some type of compostable matter, if you had coffee grounds or leaves or sawdust or something, you know, things like that. What if you're not able to use the toilet for a couple of weeks? You know, what are you going to do?
We have playlists on a lot of this stuff, and I have a root cellar. Somebody asked about the root cellar stuff. I have a whole playlist on how we built our root cellar and put it in. You can watch us build it from step 1 to step B. And Daniel got his tickets to the Homesteading Life Conference in 2026. Y'all, Tom Cowan, Dr. Tom Cowan is one of our main speakers. He doesn't hardly go to these kind of events, but he is coming to ours, and he is going to have some very good explosive information for you guys. And you show up the day before, and you can get your camping set up on. It's dry camping if you get the dry camping ticket, and then you'll be ready to go. You'll be inside the gate. You'll be taken care of real nice. Like we have 24-hour bathroom. No showers, but 24-hour bathroom access, okay? And quit taking showers every day, y'all, especially in city water.
You'll save money, too.
Sprouts versus microgreens, both of them.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. One thing with, microgreens, I never have any problems with the microgreens. Sprouts, the only time, like, I like to do the sprouts in the winter months. In the summer months, I do find with it so humid and I don't have air conditioning that they do mold a little bit more. They're both going to be incredibly nutrient dense and they're going to be wonderful. So whatever you can do well with, then I would do it. You could do both. They're both incredible health benefits. So yeah, I like them both. It just, when it's really hot and humid out and you don't have a controlled environment, I don't like to do the sprouts, and I'm just telling you from my experience in the summer.
Y'all just try to break free as much as you can. Don't depend on the store for all your stuff. I mean, it's Soylent Green out there.
And yeah, and don't listen to what you keep hearing just on the television all the time, what people are saying, you know, your whole life, you're just kind of conditioned, like this is happening in the news, this is happening. You just kind of go along with it, and you're like, oh, not again. Now all the stuff that we've been learning and everything, it's like everything that we've been taught, we've just been brainwashed since we were little kids. Everything.
It's a fact.
Like everything.
It's a fact.
So just don't take things at, face value. Just always look into things a little bit more.
Listen, you have to unlearn your whole life. And this is a hard one, right? That you're so invested in a lot of this stuff. And it's a hard one to realize that every single thing that you know is a big mess, is a lie, has been perpetrated to you by the fraudulent television. And who runs that stuff? Becca, here's the link right here. I just dropped it. offgridwithdougandstacy.com. Hit the shop tab, and then you scroll down to see Dr. Cowan.
And then on Dr. Cowan, he has the best, the most potent, the best liposomal vitamin C ever.
And if you guys have ever seen The Truman Show, that's what you're living. You're living like this fake reality, and you think it's so real. Why do you think you've seen Trump on TV your whole life, and now all of a sudden he's the president? Do you really believe that he got shot in his ear? Seriously, leave a comment. Do you really believe that Trump got shot in his ear? Seriously, leave a comment. Because there is no way that happened. And all you got to do, too, is look at Evander Holyfield's ear.
Such a
Cartilage does not grow back, y'all. And there is no way somebody whizzed a bullet into his ear. Okay? It's all fake WWE garbage. Okay? Look at it. Yes. There's some yeses. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. As soon as I saw that, I knew that was some fake shit.
And then the other thing is everyone's so used to watching Fox and, all this normal channels, NBC, CBS, and all that, CNN. Look into some alternative. A lot of these people that are on YouTube, independent people, get some different point of views on stuff. It's really.
Was he really dead? Yeah, maybe they shot a guy in the audience. The rumor is that he held one of the patents for the special kind of plastic that they had. And if you guys didn't know, that place where they held the rally was the DOD facility. And in case you didn't know, CNN never covered up one of his rallies, but all of a sudden they're there with slow motion, stop film, high process. Come on, y'all. Seriously. Seriously. Even if that wasn't true about the patent stuff, you don't think they would dust somebody off in the crowd just to push off the story? You must be kidding me. Seriously. It's called The Takeaway, man. This is the oldest stuff. Why do you think they gave you Biden? They gave you Biden so you would beg for Trump. They're trying to put all their systems in place. And they needed to buy a little bit more time because Trump has won over your hearts. And he's going to usher this stuff in. Why is he promoting AI data centers? Why does he like Thiel? Look up Thiel. That guy's crazy, y'all. He wants to get rid of humans and have transhumanism everywhere. Okay? Serious business. Look up Palantir. The government's already using Palantir. And I know my son's in the military. You guys, boo. No, we did not go to the moon. Never happened. Not going to happen. Won't happen again. That's why we've never been back. There'd be a McDonald's up there in daily flights if we went to the moon. Come on.
It's barefootmicrogreens.com for microgreens.
And no, I don't support no Israel. So how about those apples? They can go support themselves. How about those apples? How come they can't stand on their own 2 feet? Why are they stealing all of our money, our hard-earned tax dollars all the time? Why is that? Stacy, I love your pants. Where did you get them? Y'all are a trip. Where'd you get your pants, Stacy? I don't know, some dingo shop we stop in.
They're just made,
100% cotton.
They're not cotton. They're silk scarves.
Oh, you got silk ones?
They're used.
She wears the 100% cotton though.
Well, silk's good.
I know this is great, but I'm just saying, like, most of your stuff is.
It's one of those places that they use the women from India, the old silk scarves.
They use those women in India in their little sew rooms.
No, they make skirts, the old saris and stuff.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Okay, we have to.
Is it time to go?
Yes.
It's time for me to fly. All right, y'all. It's good stuff, man.
So it's just what we want you guys to do is
She said most silk is fake. Greenacre says it. Oh, we have to look into that one now. We got a whole new rabbit hole to go down.
This is out of my wheelhouse. Everything else I have.
Yeah, we haven't really. She thinks it's silk. They said it was.
Well, no, so I mean, I'm just yeah. So, just we want you guys to just think outside the box and don't take everything that people when you watch, because you know what I mean. Television, you're just programmed by a lot of the television that we watched growing up our whole entire life.
There is proof, Wanda. Wanda, there is proof he wasn't shot. Not one day in the hospital. Not one surgery on his ear. You don't know about ballistics, man. You can't whiz a 223 or a 556 by somebody's head or a 30-30 and just take out a little piece of their ear and everything's fine. It's not going to happen. All right. He came out with this big Band-Aid on his ear. What a mockery. Get with it, man. Come on. Learn some stuff. I know I'm the guy to slap you around about it. And if you look up MAGA in Latin, I've talked about this before, but if you look up MAGA in Latin, I dare you. Go look up MAGA in Latin. Why did they pick MAGA, MAGA? Make America great again. Well, that's the surface dwelling. Go look it up because you're dealing with people that you don't understand. They are way more sophisticated than you're giving them credit for. Okay? Way more.
Yeah, ask what it means in Latin.
Go ahead. Google it. MAGA in Latin. What does it mean? All right, now we're going to take off. Stacy's got to walk the dog before it gets dark. We give you guys an hour and a half. We try to just be very upfront with you guys. There's no hokey pokey here.
But see, our point is we want you guys to think outside of the box that you've been living in your whole entire life. This is not, there's a lot more going on here.
Yeah,
you need to become more self-empowered, taking care of yourself. How are you going to feed yourself? Making nutrient-dense foods. Getting out in the sun.
Provide your own electricity if you want to.
Yeah, getting some candles. We do have the beeswax candles.
Beeswax candles are awesome. Offgoodwithdougandstacy.com. Hit the shop tab. We have a lot of great stuff for you guys. As soon as we get back to the homestead, we'll be sending out all your orders.
And then if not as well, but besides the candles, if you have some oil lanterns, what if electricity goes out? Make sure you're having alternate means of having light. We talked about, getting a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket. They have little toilet seats you can screw on. You can find them at any camping places or whatever. Make sure you have something like that because who knows?
Dig a hole in the ground, whatever you got to do.
Learn about this, getting books on
square foot gardening, foraging, herbs. Dawn Kami. If you want to get some lambs, all you got to do is email me, put lambs in the subject matter, do your homework, find the link to email me. And then if you want to get some, if you live relatively close, I do not ship my lambs all over the place. And then we'd be able to sell you a couple if you wanted to. I might have a ram too if you wanted to just
maybe
get a ram.
No, I don't know.
I'm on a ram. I'm on a roll every Monday at the live show. Okay, I'm always dropping bombs on you guys. Vance and Thiel is disgusting. Vance owned a blood-sucking company before he became vice president. Y'all, you don't understand who you're dealing with. And then he canceled that out and he changed his name 6 times. And I know he wrote his book, Doug, and he changed his name, Doug, because he had a bad home life. I could see changing the name once, maybe twice, 6 times, totally suspect. Okay, his book, totally suspect. They try to normalize these people, put them in front of your face, and then boom, now he's vice president. Okay, holy smokes, man! I don't know if it's just me. Is it just me? Do I have so much discernment?
So
I don't know.
Once you kind of get into it and you start learning, it's like, oh. Like the first time you hear it, you're like,
it's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't believe it. But then when you start hearing more and more and you learn more about it, you're like, everything has just been a show. It's
disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay. These people are all in this big club and they're brought up. Why do you think he has an Indian wife? Do you guys even know about the Indian connection? You should maybe look that up too, man. It's deep stuff. There's so much going on, y'all. Don't dwell on the surface, please. It will get you in the trick bag. Yeah, okay. Tony says, I'm telling you the truth. Just do your homework and don't even believe anything I say. Maha is a joke. They got you waiting 2-3 years to get dyes out of your Fruit Loops while they spray the skies every single day. They get rid of, 20 vaccines with mRNA while they have 400 that they're doing now. They have dental floss with mRNA. They're spraying it on your lettuce. They're putting it in your pigs and your cows. Y'all get out of here with that stuff, man. That dude is so phony. Did you?
Sure.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Yeah, you'd be great.
we're gonna go now. All right, you guys. If you're in the university.offgridwithdougandstacy.com, we got a great talk for you guys lined up for Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. And we do care for you guys, right? We're not just sitting here jerking around. We actually are trying to wake people up so they can snap out of this delusion, okay? Because we were there and we know how we're living now. And we want you to kind of get some of that because it's so good for you. I'm going to live to be over 100. Stacy's going to live to be an old gal. We're in our 60s. Well, Stacy is. I'm pretty close. But we're healthy and happy and alive and alert and we're vibrant, right? And we don't get caught up in the drama of the lies and the stuff they're trying to sell us on the TV and the fake news. It's for real, man. All right. See you guys on the next one.